Hello everyone, welcome back to another homework video. I'm back with you again, Lisa from Shady Tree Stitches, and this week we have got the special guest of Hannah, who has her own channel that I've forgotten the name of, but she is one of the admins from Crystal Academy. What's the name of your channel, Hannah?
HannahDowling.
Just HannahDowling, nice and easy. Okay, and we have our new secret guest who may or may not have a floss tube channel. Hello, secret guest.
Hi.
So thanks so much for joining us, girls. It's nice to get good variety. And we're here to talk about the homework for the week of the 1st of February. Oh my goodness, a whole month gone already. Stay tuned later in the week for the monthly video. Can't get two done on one day, so you're just going to have to wait for the monthly. All right, so we're going to start as usual with the drawing of last week's raffle ticket. For the secret guest, we had 6 entries for the secret guest that got it right, and the lucky number is number 4. Number 4 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Carol A. Hebert. So Carol A. Hebert, you have won a raffle for the fun raffles. Woohoo! Congratulations. So remember, just for the No New Starts people who watch, comment where I post this video in No New Starts, and that gets you a chance to go in the draw for a fun raffle ticket. And we went through, the admin team on the weekend, went through all the fantastic prizes. And thank you again for the generosity. We're still happy to receive some, but we have got some fantastic, awesome prizes. There's going to be spot prizes during the year, as well as the raffle at the end of the year for the fun raffle. And then, of course, the main challenge, which is for money. All right, let's get started. First up, we're going to go with the Daily 30. Secret guest, you're going to drive us on that. What would you like? Oh, what would you like to say?
So it's the week through January 29th through February 12th. And it's the Tupperware week. So it says Tupperware brand products made their debut in 1946, the start of the revolutionary post-war period in history. For over 70 years, the Tupperware brand products have continually added a unique organization touch to kitchens across the nation. This week, let's store up and some facts about our favorite plastic.
That's cool. All right, so just go, probably because there's so much good information, just cut to the bit where it tells us what we need to actually find.
Just saying what the prompt is?
Yeah.
Okay. So prompt 1, and this is 200 or 100 or 200 stitches, or 1 hour or 2 hours. So stitch on a whip that you will have your name on it when it's completed.
All right, Hannah, what do you got?
Well, I don't have anything that'll have my full name on it, but I'll have my initials. So I'm not sure if that counts or not.
Yeah.
But I'm doing Castles in the Air by Long Dog Samplers.
Nice.
And I'll have my initials on it. So
I would think that counts because it's actually engraved in the pattern.
Right. And it's changing from the original pattern. So.
And again, our usual disclaimer, apart from Crystal Academy, where Hannah can talk freely and knowledgeably, and No New Starts where I can, we have absolutely nothing more than our opinions to share with you. So it may or may not be correct, but it gives you ideas. All right. Well, for me, I don't have anything that I'm going to be actually stitching my name into, like, you know, that at this stage, but I actually write my name and date on every piece. So I don't know if that counts, but I do that. So that's what I'm going to be putting forward for this week for that prompt. Secret guest?
I don't think I have anything that has my name written into it, but I do have a couple of my long dogs I could use that would have my initials in it. I'm going to share my screen real quick. It would be Life After Death, or I don't know if Crosswords might, but they might have my initials. but
Mhm.
for you, we'll definitely have my initials in there.
Yeah, that's a pretty one.
Yeah, it is.
All right, cool. What's next?
Plus 2 is digital piece that is exclusively available from a designer that can only be purchased / obtained directly from them.
All right, Hannah.
Well, I'm not sure. Somebody might be able to tell me, but Mystic Stitch, I'm pretty sure you can only get Mystic Stitch from Mystic Stitch website, or can you get them from other places? I think you can only get them from Mystic Stitch. So I would do dogs because that's a Mystic Stitch piece, and I think you can only get it from their website.
That makes sense. Well, I think I haven't decided which one I'm going to do, but you'll be so not surprised to see that I might do one of the Paddock Lane Designs sites designs. I'm working on this one at the moment, Among Us. It wasn't me, which I designed, and you can only buy them through my Etsy shop or my Facebook page. So that's the only place you can get my designs from. So, and I think any designer that sells mostly on Etsy and doesn't actually have printed patterns in a shop would be valid.
I agree. Yeah.
The one I will probably work on is the Dark Queen of the Seashell from Autumn Lane Stitchery, and anyone from their shop because you can only get that style from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. What's next?
The third prompt is put stitches in a whip that has something with a lid and the design.
Hannah?
I don't think I have anything. I mean, unless... No, I don't think I have anything that has a lid. I'm looking at my A Stitch in Time. I'm like, maybe there's something in this that has a lid, but
There could be a little on the table or mantelpiece. Maybe there's a little like jewelry jar or something that has a lid. That's possible.
That's possible. I just, so I might, oh, yes, there's an Ort jar.
There you go.
It's like right here. So there's definitely a lid on that Ort jar.
Awesome. Yes, lots of people are stitching that. So there you go. That's a good one.
And you can do penalty stitches or alternate stitches, which is 100 extra if you don't have it.
So 100 extra alternate stitches if you don't have it. All right, well, how do you think about this, guys? This is a different take on a lid. But I was thinking about working on my Cozy Cove because there's a letterbox. And the letterbox has a lid, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, technically.
But what do you call the flippy bit? Do you call it the lid? We do.
I don't know. I don't think we call it anything.
Yeah. It's a lid that shuts the box. So
I would say
it's just turned on its side. So I might do that, but otherwise, yeah, my Stitch in Time would have a lid. All right, secret guest. And can you speak loudly?
There's nothing that calls to me.
Hold on. What's got your lid?
I'm going to share my screen because I don't know at the top of my head.
If you just scroll up, we can look with you if you need help.
I mean, that milk bottle, but...
Yes, the milk bottle might have a cap on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you would have to close it at some point, right?
All right. Where's that?
I'm sure there's something in Once Upon a Fairy Tale that has a lid.
In the Halloween Hot Run, you need a lid to close the coffin.
Yes, coffin would have a lid. Yes, that's true. Yep, that sounds good.
Right. The next prompt is stitch on a piece that has one of the shapes in the shape O in design.
Right, the shape-o. Now, some people, do you guys know what the shape-o is? Maybe I need to get it up. Hold on. I'm just going to Google it.
No idea.
Okay.
I thought it was just
yeah, I'll see if I can find a picture. because I remember this from my youth, but lots of people don't. So here we go. Let me share. I've just found it on eBay. So some random person. This is the Shapo.
Oh, I know what that is. I didn't know it myself.
Right. So if we look there, you've got a plus sign, a circle, a square, a triangle and a cut-off triangle, a semicircle wedge, a hexagon and a dexagon, a 5, I'm not sure, and a star. So any of those shapes is what you're looking to fit in, okay?
That was
Okay.
a circle, but that's
So yeah, I was gonna say I have a wreath on Baker Street, and that's definitely a circle. So yeah, circle.
Well, I really haven't decided yet because there's so many shapes, like it's quite easy to find something. But I might be wanting to work for this one. Hold on, I've got to find it. Where is it hiding? I want to do some work for the No New Starts Aquarius on this one. So I could double dip. And this is Lavender Farm by Cuore Batticore. And what I was thinking is, well, there's little squares in the windows, or there's these half circles wedges down the bottom. So I'm thinking I could maybe do the shapes for that piece and get a double dip happening. What do you got, guest?
I think I'm gonna end up working on the nativity because there's several stars.
Mm-hmm.
And stars is one of the shapes in the shape
Sounds good.
below.
All right, what do we got next?
The last one is put stitches in a whip that was released prior to 1999.
Oh dear.
I'm out. I have nothing.
You have nothing?
I have nothing. All of mine were definitely released definitely after 1999.
Well, at least you only have to do 200 or 300 in alternative stitches for it because it's not a big one. I am actually lucky because I have got my silly old ginger cat that is actually further progressed than that. And I probably have 100 stitches, maybe 200, somewhere between 100 and 200 stitches left to finish it. And it is actually from the late 1980s. It's a Jan Lin kit, so perfect for me. And another finish. Yay.
Oh, yeah, woohoo!
What about you, guest?
The one that's coming to mind, and it's from a magazine, is the Oregon Trail. It was from the July 1993 in Country Crafts magazine.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So that gives you that one. So that's it plus the daily 30, and that takes care of the daily 30 prompts, hey?
And then you have your 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, on whatever you want. Brilliant. All right, well, let's hand over the floor to Hannah and give us a rundown on what's actually happening, because Crystal Academy has finished its weeks of sharting. So what are we doing now?
Oh, I love it. So the tribunal is going to be starting tomorrow. Well, yeah, tomorrow Eastern time. So 12 p.m. Eastern time, we start the tribunal. So this is something mainly for all of our new students, or if you were a commuter last term and you want to be in a dorm this term, you would take part in the tribunal. Many of the returning students who are in dorms did this, and it's pretty much exactly the same as it was last term. So there's 3 things that you have to do throughout the week. So I'll just go through each of them, and you can choose any whip that you want to work on these. There's really no, there's really no prompts other than number 2, and we'll get into that in a minute. But for the first task, it's called Stitch to Force. And essentially what you're doing is you're stitching for 24 hours. You don't have to stitch the whole 24 hours, and you don't have to try to do as much as you can in that 24 hours. We would really rather you stitch what you normally stitch in a 24-hour period, because that's really what helps us put you into a dorm, so that we're not putting all of like the major players into one dorm and then all of the people who really can only stitch 1 or 2 days of the week in another dorm.
And that's something that was, I really appreciated when you did it last time. I loved it because you actually managed to get most of the dorms with, a big header, a quite big header, and then it's almost went down 100 stitches. And then down the bottom, there's 100, someone who just does 100 stitches a week. So each dorm had one of those. It was great.
Right.
It's really fair.
Right. Yeah. So for that one, you're stitching for 24 hours, as much as you normally can do in a 24-hour period. We don't ask that you do like way more, but you can do this one whenever you want. You don't have to do this one on Monday. You can do this on any of the days of the week. So you don't have to do these in any order. So number 2 is 2 things. So you have to do 2 of number 2. There's 2A, 2B, 2C, or 2D. So out of these, if you pick A through C, you have to do 2 of them. If you pick D, you only have to do D. And I'll explain why. So A is Stitch on a Whip You Love, and it's 200 stitches. B is Stitch on a Whip You Don't Like, you despise, you hate, for whatever reason. And you just have to tell us why. Give us a reason. And C is, this is where it changed from last term. Stitch 200 stitches in one color of your choosing. So last time we chose for you, this time you're choosing. And if it's blue, you can do light blue, dark blue, medium blue. It just has to be blue. So you can do any of the forms of blue. So you have to pick 2 of those if you choose those. If you choose D, you only have to do D, because you have to do 200 stitches every day.
Oh.
So some people chose that and they did really well. Most people did not choose that.
Yes.
And each day it has to be a different whip. So you can't work on the same whip every day. You have to choose 7 different whips. So there's that. And then 3 is just keep track of all of your stitches throughout the week. So you don't need to post every day what your total stitch count is, but at the end of the week, we need to have a total stitch count for the week. And that can include stitches you do for other things. Like let's say you only do tribunal. You don't have to just count your tribunal stitches. Tell us all the stitches that week for every group that you take part in. And that's how we pretty much sort you. For our returning students, if you want to be sorted into a new dorm, for whatever reason you want to do tribunal again, go ahead. You don't have to do the tribunal again. And I know a lot of our returners are staying in their dorms if their dorm managed to be in the 6 that are still playing. If you haven't filled out the form yet, please go fill out the form if you're a returning student. It'll just make life easier for us. I think that's basically it. If for whatever reason you don't want to do the tribunal again, but your stitch counts might have changed, please let us know, because we'll resort you based on, if you want to be resorted, we'll resort you based on what your stitch count might be now.
And so obviously if you're in one of the 6 that stayed and you want to stay there, you stay there, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're in one of the ones that lost to the 7,
mm-hmm.
that was just, you could choose to do a direct transfer across, couldn't you?
Pretty much, you can choose to do a direct transfer to the one that you lost to,
yeah.
Or you can fill out the form and tell us what your top 2 picks are, and you might get placed there. We're not saying that you will definitely get placed in one of those 2, but that'll give us a better idea of where you want to go.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Well, thank you. You guys do an awesome job. We really appreciate it. And one other thing, if you're doing part B and you want to do the stitch every day, obviously you can choose to do one day doing 200 stitches in a piece you love, and next day do 200 pieces on stitch. You can choose to do that if you want to. It's up to you.
Yeah, but we just say if you're doing D, you don't have to do any of the other parts of 2. So
that's cool. Awesome. All right. Well, the next homework one we have to talk about today is the Supernatural, which remember is a small group. It is still taking members. Oh, and on that, I should say, we usually start the Daily 30 by saying it's a closed group, and unfortunately you can't get in. But if you're interested in getting in, we'd let you know. And well, we did. They opened up a couple of days ago for like half a day. And if someone had told me they wanted to be in, I invited them and they joined. So if you are interested in the Daily 30, we cannot get you in at the moment. But if you're interested, it would be worth letting us know so that down the track, if it does open up again, we can let you know. If we don't know, we don't know. So we can't wave a magic wand, but we can try. So yeah, it's very exciting. As I said, it's a new month. There's heaps of things happening in all the groups. The Supernatural group is open, and it's a smallish group. So there are lots of prompts and things to do. And remember, these are for you to work on your stash shopping budget. That's the sort of prize, is you get to, put money towards things. I really use this as my double up when I've done some stitching. I go, ooh, can that fit one of the prompts? Because there's so many prompts each week. Anyway, we are looking this week at season 3, episode 14, long distance call. So you do them in hundreds of stitches, depending what you like, or there is a penalty option if you want as well. I don't know why you'd need to. Okay, first one, pull out a project that includes a school or food. And Secret Guest, you're first with these ones.
The one that, I have a lot of projects with food because the one that comes to mind is the taste better because he's eating raw cookie dough.
I was going to say, I'd be doing, it tastes better with cookie and milk.
Yep.
10 minutes. Okay, cool. Yep. All right. And Hannah, what do you got?
I'm going to do World Wonders Map by Gecko Rouge because there's a pineapple.
Oh, that's good. I'm wanting to stitch that, but I'm not going to do it on one big piece of fabric because I'm not that insane. I was thinking about dividing it into 3 panels, but
I knew somebody else.
Not this year. All right, for me, this is one I actually want to get some work done on today, actually. Jan Lynn, Autumn, and there's plenty of food and a school in that. So that's what comes to mind for me. All right, the next one is stitch on a project that shows flames. Do you have anything? Flames. Actually shows flames.
I have a perfect one for this one.
Cool.
I don't know.
Kind of in the title.
Oh, yes, look at that.
Blade. There may be some flames in there, I don't know.
Oh, well, you could work on that. Yep, that definitely has flames. Hannah?
So I'm going to do my Once Upon a Fairy Tale because the dragon is breathing fire.
True, that's a good plan. Okay. For me, I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but just the first one I found in my list that has flames is my Hawk Run Hollow, which is my piece on 40 count, and we all know what I think of 40 count. So it's got flames in the fireplace. All right, next prompt is stitch on a project with stars. So we already saw Secret Guest stars. She had that nativity with the stars in it. Did you have any stars in yours, Anna?
Yep, I'll do One Fairy Tale again because there's stars on the top row. I'm pretty similar with that idea. I think I'd stick to that as well. Or that that Hawk Run has stars in a night one. The next one is stitch a project that shows a collection of something or includes a human hand or people walking. It'll make sense when you read the prompt. But it's like, people walking, a human hand, or a collection of something.
My Hawk Run Hollow has several human hands.
Yep. Hannah?
I will do my wedding piece because obviously there are human hands
And this is why Hannah's a guest presenter and not a secret guest, because it would be a bit obvious who she was. But it's good. I'm looking forward to having recurring guests and secret guests. All right, well, for me, this is actually one of my zombie run pieces, and it's Maidens of the Seasons by Mirabilia, and you can see they have human hands in them, so that would be pretty good to do, and I can double dip it. Always want to double dip it. Okay, Come to Me, produced by a design company or person with the first or last name starting with the letters COMET. Any designers or?
I mean, heaven and earth, right, Michelle?
Yep. And I would be just going Mirabilia.
Yeah, I have a Mirabilia that's on my zombies.
Yeah, so that's a pretty easy one. They're good letters. Stitch on a project that features toys.
Toys?
Toys.
I have my Santa's Workshop by Thomas Kincaid. And
I mean, I could say in Once Upon a Fairy Tale. Oh, I'm still looking.
I know I have it. I can't see it. Maybe I
That
could.
one.
But it has a bunch of toys pictured in his book.
Can you click on your Once Upon a Fairy Tale, please, secret guest?
Oh, it's right next to the cat.
Okay, what are you saying is in there? Thank you.
Well, I was gonna say we could just pretend like they're play fighting with their swords, their toy swords.
The bow and arrow as well, yeah. That's
When
true.
you did have toy boat ships that you play in the water.
Right.
Yep. Or your toy pirates, your toy dragons.
Right.
Okay. Thanks for that, secret guest. I'm always more literal, but nothing's jumping out at me. I have, it'd be this one. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to stitch on it, but you never know. Depends on the prompts for magical stitches. So this one, there's toys. I mean, that panda bear has got to be a big stuffed toy, doesn't he?
Hopefully.
Hopefully he's not a live panda bear in the middle of the bedroom.
Do you have any whips or stuff like that? Kids always have toy farm animals that they play with.
Yes, true. All right, the next one. Project with one or more insects.
My Virtue has several butterflies, and those are insects. They're actually my favorite.
No, we know that one. Well, good, Hannah. What do you got?
My tulips have butterflies. So that'll work.
Mine, this is what comes to my mind when I think of insects, is my good old Anzac, the long dog.
Nope.
There's plenty of insects flying around there. There's spiders and there's a whole bunch of things. So that would come to mind for me, Anzac. So stitch on a project that features at least one modern appliance or device. And again, you don't have to do all of these.
Yeah.
Nothing's coming to mind.
I wonder how modern they call modern, because could you call a car modern? Because I'm scrolling past a whole bunch of
I feel like yes.
Yep. I'm scrolling past a whole bunch of horse and carts. So
does it have? It's an appliance or device, right?
yes. Yes.
I would say a car's device. Yeah, I would say that would work.
I don't think I have.
You don't have much modern.
I mean, there might be something.
Modern patterns, but
Yeah, Thomas Kincaid. There's an airplane.
Yep, an airplane.
But and then there's robots which require appliances to move.
Well, for me, I'd actually be still in this one. because it's you can see the kitchen, and I'm sure in the kitchen there's going to be a fridge or a stove or something like that, and that would be a modern device.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next prompt is to do with stitch on a project that features woods or wild spaces.
Chris, do you have any?
Nativity, because it's
Yes.
very wild.
Yes, your nativity is wild. All right, what about you, Hannah?
I will do Canine Sanctuary because there's definitely woods behind that house.
There definitely is. That's pretty.
Oh, thank you.
All right, for me, I was thinking, what have I got that's woods or wild spaces? And I have mountain cabin. You can't get much woodsier than that, can you? So that's good because it's one of my full coverages that I wanted to do a little bit of work on. So that's good. All right, the next one might be tricky. A project that includes typical office equipment or supplies. Office equipment or supplies.
Nothing's coming to mind.
What about your crossword pattern? Because, you know, you use paper and write letters in an office. I mean, I'm pushing.
Even the what is that one? I don't remember what it's called. The one with the books, the cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, anything with books.
Yeah.
Any of the Amy Stewarts, they've got books.
Yeah, I was gonna say Stitch Time. You could do. There's like lamps and things.
Yeah, but that cliffhanger would be perfect. Yeah. Good job. See, that's why we need these team efforts. You got anything else, or is that your guess for that one?
That's my guess for that one.
Yeah, Hannah, you going with Once Upon a Fairy Tale?
No, I think I'm going to do A Stitch in Time because there's lamps and desks and things. So.
Oh, true. There is lots of desks on that one. Yeah, that's good. See, I didn't think of these things. All right, the next one is, well, we just covered this. Stitch on a project that has a literary connection. So something to do with a library or books. So I think you get to do extra stitches on that. And the next one is stitch on a project that features a mundane setting. Somewhere mundane.
I know what it is, but I can't think
It's like boring.
Boring.
Run of the mill, every day, nothing too special.
No, there's nothing really.
I feel like you could do your princesses on the stairs because it's just stairs.
Stairs are very boring. Yeah, that's true.
Boring.
I mean, having all the princesses there is not mundane, but the actual stairs is very mundane.
Right.
Yeah, that would work for you.
Or my long dog, Life After Death, because it's one color, and that can kind of get.
Yeah. Well, you definitely couldn't do your Phantom of the Opera, because being in an opera house on a boat with a chandelier is not very mundane. All right, what about you, Hannah?
I'm not sure if this would work because most of my stuff is not necessarily mundane. But my Mulan, because the background is just really like there's nothing happening.
It's just a blank wall.
Yeah.
Well,
and those are like bulk stitching.
Right.
I have plenty of choices because to me, I figure any of my boring houses are just a house. Like I have some that are not boring houses, but many of mine are just boring houses. I'm just trying to double dip here, and I'm trying to find the one I'm looking for, and it's not jumping out at me. Why is it so? It always does this to me. Sorry. I want to double dip, so I need to find the one I want. Here it is.
It helps to have 12 patterns, right?
Yes, instead of I'm down to about 96 now. All right, I'm working on my little house neighborhood for my zombie run, and that's pretty mundane.
I mean, you have a border, which is very mundane.
Yes, but I mean, you know, you're just in the neighborhood. It's your everyday neighborhood. It's the houses you see every day. That's pretty mundane to me.
Yeah.
All right, so that is your, there's bonus points as well, though, for Supernatural. Wow, okay, these might always be here. I may not always read them. So take...
I think they're typically the same.
There's a take a before and after stitching on a thing other than this prompt while watching the long distance call episode. If you don't have a match for this week's hunts, switch to a project that features a car or book. That gets you an extra 100 stitches. Well, there's 2 prompts that use books, so that's pretty weird.
Right.
And then if you stitch on a Supernatural related chart, you can get extra 7 points if you're actually being a fan piece. And if you FO a project that you stitched during it, you get a bonus 10 points. And if you FFO it, that's an additional 20 points. So you can get 30 bonus points if you FFO a project. So that's pretty cool. All right.
I'm not doing projects this year, so it doesn't matter.
So Magical Stitches is yet to post its weekly prompts.
Yeah, we don't have marks yet.
No,
it's more time, but I don't think so. Nope, nothing yet.
I liked it last year because they put it out a day earlier so you could plan, and because it's now 1:30 in the afternoon here on a Monday, so
Right.
It's you know, well into my week, but that's all we can do. But I'm sure that Emily and Sammy will have videos up about Magical Stitches weekly. I'd say undoubtedly Sammy and Vicky will do a big one for the start of the month and the weekly for Magical Stitches, and so you can go look for that. That'll be good. And Sammy's saying there's heaps of monthly things starting. The only really weekly thing is to work on Let Us See for your alphabet. That's all I can think of. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for coming on, special guests Hannah and Secret Guest. And we will look forward to seeing you guys later. Bye.
Yeah.
Yay.